on this upcoming on the 22nd, the 21st, I should say, we have Bovie, and on the 22nd, Marie Valdomina. But I believe we're done putting ourselves over. So it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And a big interesting thing that happened this week in the news was that NXT will be going to the CW network. What are your thoughts on the shift between USA to CW, Pluto?
I mean, I guess they're going back to their roots because remember SmackDown used to be on Fox/CW, so it's crazy how that works. I, the only reason I won't poo-poo this move is because it's going to a television channel that everyone has in their house, right?
Right.
Like, as much as we, it's crazy that we think USA is considered cable, but yes, it is considered cable. It's considered cable, and a lot of people do have cable, but not everyone uses cable. Everyone uses streaming, and and sometimes streaming doesn't include certain channels.
Right.
So this that's the only reason I'm giving it like a benefit of the doubt because of the fact that it's going to a channel that everyone has, which is CW, because everyone has a local CW channel. It's local as shit. So plus being on something that local on a channel in which I think CW used to have like Smallville and what was it?
The Arrow, the
That
Flash.
basketball. One Tree Hill. One Tree Hill.
Yeah, I believe that was in there.
Yeah, it was One Tree Hill. So yeah, One Tree Hill. Uh, I know CW used to be WB, which was like all the black shows was on that motherfucker. But 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 yes, it's a channel where everyone can kind of that and one everyone has it's easily accessible, and two, they'll probably be the biggest rated show on that goddamn channel hands down.
You know, you're not wrong about that. This could actually be a great move for NXT. Giving people that maybe aren't aware of pro wrestling or, Raw SmackDown, a little taste of what it is. Because they haven't been on, you know, the network like that for quite some time. I mean, yeah, Fox, but it seems like it's a great move on their part. And it might actually boost the ratings and the viewership as well. I think so. My question
I mean,
is it
yeah, go
going to,
ahead.
yeah, what was you going to say?
No, go ahead. Ask the question because I might end up might be asking the same thing I'm asking. Go ahead.
Is it going to stay on Peacock?
It would have to. It would have to. Now that's where I wish they kept the goddamn network because they wouldn't have had that problem. And that was the thing. The network never really had a problem when NXT was on that thing because everyone that had the network was watching everything on it anyway.
Right.
So they kind of took something where they had like full control and easy access for people to splitting it up into three different ways, which to me was dumb. I mean, they made more money, but it was dumb. So that would have been the easiest path was to keep the network.
Right. Um, it is. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do with it because we'll get into another topic of that in a minute, but I do think that it's a beneficial for them. And that being said, it was supposed to be AEW actually. It was rumored that the CW was looking for a new wrestling show to be on their network, and they reached out to Tony Khan, and he was not interested. Does that seem like a missed opportunity on Tony Khan's part?
Um, yes, because you're trying to get because other than them having what AEW After Dark on YouTube, I think the only accessible thing that they have is TNT. And to me, TNT, it was a problem with TNT when they couldn't keep the viewership of the follow up because I remember they had the follow up when they came on right after Inside the NBA, which is probably the most popular television show on the planet uh, as far as sports and basketball, and they couldn't maintain a viewership there. So you would think that they would use something like the CW to get casuals who may not even glance it easier access to see it, right?
Right.
But either way, it's a win for CW because they're like, shit. I went for AEW and I got the best wrestling promotion in the world. Shit. As far as like making generate revenue, hell yeah, that's a win-win.
If it was only on CW a decade ago, we could have got the NXT Arrow crossover, or the Flash crossover, or the Supergirl crossover. I mean, who wouldn't see Gigi Dolan on the Flash and not think that she absolutely would fit in that role?
That is true. But I mean, CW in itself, it only had a handful of shows that kept it going, and even with those shows, it wasn't. It's not garnering 900,000 people like NXT could possibly do. And considering that it's going to be on a regular cable network, it has the chance to get even more.
I was gonna
I
say,
don't think it's I don't think it's going to get a million every week, but uh, high sixes to eights would beat any show that they ever had.
you I think it does have the potential to either go the million or and maybe maintain that number from week to week. Maybe obviously when other things come up, but I do think that it is going to help NXT get more eyes on them.
Yes, and that helps because when they go to the main roster, motherfuckers will know, oh, I know this motherfucker. And they will have to change names 13 times.
And like you said, it's coming at a great time where the CW doesn't necessarily have a lot of shows that are staples anymore. Like I said, Arrow was a big staple, no longer on there.
The Flash,
Supernatural, The Flash. Oh,
Supergirl, for a hot minute. I remember they had Black Lightning. Yeah, CW was known for like a lot of great dramas, and then the DC part, and then they had the all black era with like uh, I can't think of like Wayans brothers. Dang, what was the other one? The Parkers, stuff like that. So yeah,
so going back to this could have possibly been AEW. Like I like I said, it's a missed opportunity by him, by Tony. Is his blind loyalty to the Warner Brothers a crutch at this point for Tony?
No, I mean, it could be the case of, and I'll give it an example, right? It could be the example of Ja Rule and Ludacris. Now, here's what you're gonna follow me on this, right? Just follow me.
Okay.
Ja Rule had the initial role uh, in Fast and the Furious for Ludacris's character. He was supposed to have been that character through all 8 movies, but at that time, Ja Rule felt too big for the role, so he turned it down on the second one. In pops Ludacris, Ludacris takes over, and the rest is history. That could be one of these moments.
Okay. That's a that's a great analogy.
And that's where I think Tony Khan is jacked up because I don't think it's a blind loyalty. I think it's a more of a we're too big for the CW. If that makes sense.
How does that make sense? Because they're not doing great numbers. They're failing to draw people into the stadiums. From what I've heard online, not just Jim Cornette, people are saying that they have lost a lot of money. The only thing that's financially keeping AEW afloat is Tony Khan and his dad.
I, but it's like it's the thing where it's like you become the person you hate, and that's where he is right now.
Well, it's definitely going. I think it's going to be a. It was a bad move by AEW if it's true.
It is a
Um,
bad move. It's a bad move on their part because what's the difference between them moving Collision to CW? So they're not dealing with cable television.
that's an interesting concept. Um, would Collision be more successful if it was on CW?
It had nowhere to go up with goddamn. It has nowhere to go up now because since Punk left, it's in went to shit. Whoever thought that would happen?
Well, speaking of the Punko, apparently rumor and innuendo suggest he's going to be a part of all the companies. Um, there's a rumor that he's going to be part of New Japan, which doesn't sound too bad. There's never not a rumor that he's going to be a part of WWE. And then I found this one very interesting. There's a rumor that he's coming back to AEW, and that he is actually the devil character attacking people backstage. Thoughts?
Mm, uh, I don't believe that part. I don't believe the AEW part. I do remember they were talking about him going to what's that? Impact.
Yeah.
I don't see that. Um, WWE. Honestly, there's really nowhere for him to go because he's burned a lot of goddamn bridges. So you're like, where the fuck is he gonna go? Who the fuck is gonna be like, yeah, we'll take a flyer out on this guy?
I think WWE would do it. I still think that they would do it. If not for any
Would do it to
reason
give
to
a.
say,
They would do it for a big fuck you, but the problem is that they got so much story shit going on. Where the fuck would he fit in?
you know, the one thing that I thought about, because there's a lot of things they can do with him, but the one thing I thought that he would maybe like to do was be John Cena's last match at a WrestleMania. Be
No.
and then maybe, a Hall of Fame for Punk and go into the
Hall
sunset.
of Fame? What?
Hey, it's an idea. It's not like,
Hall
he
of
has.
Fame? Hall of Fame? Don't get me wrong. I like CM Punk just as much as, you know, I mean, as much as I hate him now, still okay. But Hall of Fame? Nah. I mean,
We
at
have,
best a good, what, 2, 3 years?
first and foremost, we have Bruno Sammartino and the Ultimate Warrior in the Hall of Fame. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities. And you
Bruno
could,
San Martino and the Ultimate Warrior are way more integral to WWE than Punk.
too, but it's, again, it would be something that would be him that would possibly interest him in coming back, and for
He ain't coming back.
WWE to say, no, 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 we got him.
No, he ain't coming back unless he's main event WrestleMania, which means he's fighting Roman Reigns, which means he's going to be in the middle of Jey Uso shit. And that's what you don't want. Or Cody, whichever one chooses to go after.
Right. You could do it before WrestleMania, but if they just drop Punk in the middle of all that, it's going to cause issues with the fans. Well, the WWE fans, I mean.
Yes.
I mean, you could. If he went to Impact, like we know, he's winning the Impact Championship. That's literally in the contract. He's legally obligated to do it. Um,
I feel like that's every ex WWE.
yeah. Um, New Japan. Where do you fit New Japan?
Nowhere. Because what faction would he join? Because they got gangs. And he's not the gang guy.
Would he? Would he need to be a part of the game?
You don't think anybody would be trying to recruit someone of CM Punk's stature?
Well, yeah, but
Let you tell it he's a Hall of Famer, so who the fuck wouldn't be trying to get his ass?
well, are you saying that he's not a Hall of Famer?
A W Hall of Famer?
He was champion for over a year. He beat pretty much everybody they had to offer at that time. He won the Money in the Bank twice.
Two-time Money in the Bank winner, Intercontinental Champion. What, two-time?
Okay.
Champion. Tag Champion. WWE, two-time WWE Champion. Oh. Nah. I mean, if it is, it's the bareliest of all barelies.
Oh,
You have to give me someone who's in the Hall of Fame that is done less than Punk.
well, somebody that has done more than CM Punk is a one Vince Kennedy McMahon. Um,
No, less.
It's called a segue. Calico.
Less, sir. LESS. Segue. But you didn't give me that name, motherfucker.
Somebody that's done less than CM Punk. Kofi Kingston.
It made the longest reigning tag champion, most tag team champion, most days as tag champion, Intercontinental champion, WWE champion, Grand Slam.
But he's never won Money in the Bank.
CM Punk never won the title at WrestleMania.
True. Like Xavier Woods.
That's all. The only titles he know is tag, the King of the Ring. But he's going in as a faction, not as an individual.
It's kind of sad on the part of Big E and Kofi that they don't get their own induction.
Yeah, see, two tag champs. I mean, he's there. Okay, he's there, but I don't like at best his brightest moment. Like his longest was roughly 2 years. Is that enough?
Punk?
Yes.
What are you talking about? That was from 2009 to 2013.
2009, he was a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably top heel. AJ Styles has that same accolade, and I think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Minus Money in the Bank.
It could still happen.
But that's my point. He's done more. He's done that same accolade in half the time.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of WWE news. Vincent Kennedy McMahon has sold around $8 billion in stock. Um, I'm not the most educated person on this topic, but it does seem like they're trying to push Vince McMahon out of his own creation at this point. No, Kaliko? No, you back?
So, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't believe I caught what you said.
I said he's
Wow,
trading ring.
it looked like we're not the exact same moment.
God dang it. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
There you go. I said either he's the smartest man or there was a goddamn trading ring going down. One or
Um,
the other.
I mean, do you feel like he got blindsided because essentially he sold WWE so he could have more control in WWE, if that makes sense. And now,
No, he sold WWE so he could have more say in the sense of generating revenue. But he's on some succession shit. This motherfucker got kicked out for taking money, then went and sold that bitch, came back, sold that bitch, and now he taking over that bitch as another company. But the problem is the other company ain't gonna take that shit.
right,
So that's the biggest issue. So you have that elephant in the room, if you will.
and
Um,
yeah,
but I mean, maybe he's just trying to keep up, get some more capital, or is it insider trading? I don't, because no one's going to be like, you must sell your shares. You know what I'm saying? That's an individual choice.
Right. I mean, it's a
So
lot of stock.
either he got some info that we don't know, which to me it seems more in that realm. Because people always sell stocks. I mean, Vince, Triple H sold stocks, Stephanie sold stock.
So you think we shouldn't read into it that much?
Uh, I wouldn't because it's unless unless the Federal Trading Commission comes down on his ass, then we could come. That's what
Well,
I say.
maybe a missed opportunity to some degree, but Gunther, the current Intercontinental Champion, um, will not be taking part in any of the PLEs that are overseas for quite some time. Um, he's becoming an American citizen because obviously he lives here. WWE. And they said apparently there's a 6 month freeze on his visa that he can't leave the country. Um, while WWE is doing shows in Saudi Arabia, Australia, Germany, and a couple other places. Is this a missed opportunity to say the least, or can it be beneficial in a way, or how do you feel about Gunther missing virtually every match, mostly all of the pay-per-views?
I mean, unless they try to work something to get his visa popped off. I mean, who's to say that's not happening behind the scenes?
Well, I mean,
So I'm
do you need Gunther at the PLEs? I would imagine you would want him for the German one, right?
hell yeah, you better want him for Germany. I would think. I think any PLE that's overseas, Roman's working it. Any Big Four, Roman's working it. So I don't. I'm trying to think. When was the last overseas PLE that Roman didn't work?
Good question.
Because that's the thing. He's going to be the money maker against whoever. So
And that's probably going
I
to be
mean,
enough to attract the crowd.
right? Because Crown Jewel didn't have Gunther.
Right.
They probably could have used Gunther, but but it was a good pay per view. But it would have been a little better Gunther with some action there.
Well, right now it seems the projection for Gunther right now is a one-on-one Intercontinental Championship match against Chad Gable. Um, agree or disagree?
It seems that way. Um, my question is, he's gonna hold the belt longer. I, to me, it's either one of two things. Either he's beating Gable and maintaining, or he's going to be the world heavyweight champion.
Well, I mean, he already beat Gable once, and it seems like the route they're going is Gable getting back to the title. And it seems like the best possible way to do that is, a Mania match.
Not really. Royal Rumble, Tampa.
I guess you could do it at the Rumble, but then
You
what's
could do
going?
it at the Rumble.
Then
He ain't
what?
got no fucked up visa for Tampa.
True. It seemed like it was going to happen at the last PLE that they were going with Gable and Gunther, but they prolonged it.
Or they could put it on Raw. Give Seth Rollins a break from defending the title every goddamn week.
True.
So that match is a match that can happen anytime. The only way you know that Gunther's not winning.
Well, speaking of titles, Samoa Joe dropped the TV title um, after defending it successfully against Keith Lee. He literally just said, "I'm going after MJF. I don't want this anymore." Um, is that a tell, telltale sign that Joe might be winning the AEW championship?
Uh, I don't know because I don't know where the fuck they're going with their story. God, to be quite honest, I'm dead ass because one week the Bucks are feuding, and then with Omega, and then next week they cool. MJF has got like 30,000 motherfuckers coming around him who wants to be his friend and rubbing his feet or whatever the fuck the case may be. I if that was the case, I get why they wouldn't have Keith Lee beat him to keep him strong. However, if anybody needed a title win, like for real, you know what I'm saying? Like, just did him dirty.
I mean, I
But
no shade at Keith Lee, but holding your D-list show secondary title isn't going to help him.
so the question, okay, so what better title he won? The NXT and holding both NXT championships simultaneously, or winning the ROH title? Right now, where he's at.
I mean, obviously, winning the NXT title as the other NXT champion was a bigger moment. I don't think. Who is the ROH champion?
That is it still Claudio?
No, didn't he lose it to Kingston?
Oh, it is Eddie Kingston. No shit. Yes, Eddie Kingston is the ROH champion.
And who is the NXT champion right now?
You say who's the NXT champion?
Yes.
Dragunov.
My my point exactly.
What's your point?
We could, between the two of us, we could not remember Eddie Kingston was the champion, but right off the top of your head, you knew Dragunov was the champion.
Because he beat Mello.
And Kingston beat Claudio, and arguably on a bigger platform.
Bullshit. Bull bullshit, sir.
That well, they have so many stadium shows in AEW. What's it called? The what was it? Oh fuck. The Arthur Stadium show.
Oh,
And
the fucking tennis court shit.
yeah, and Dragunov beat Carmelo and what?
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. Oh, jeez.
NXT PLE. That's how I.
The Bakersfield, the New York of California.
Bullshit. But I think Bakersfield is like, well, you know what? Bakersfield's like the armpit, but Bakersfield got some hoes. Don't get it twisted. Bakersfield got some hoes. Not a lot of ladies, but they got some hoes.
My point exactly.
But the fact that yes, but I remember Dragunov more clearly, even though I know he won it in an arena in an area that's less desirable than Arthur Ashe Stadium.
But we could still make the argument that Dragunov is featured more prominently on the show that he's actually is on than Eddie Kingston is, considering that he's on a paid subscription that nobody pays for. And when is the last time he's been on AEW TV?
Eddie Kingston,
Right,
because he's working New Japan. He's got double duties with belts, sir. He's
right.
he's the he's the never open weight champion, and he's just overtime right now, Mr. OT.
What have we been talking about that we got on to Dragunov and Kingston?
Well, Keith Lee, no Samoa Joe dropping the title. Does that mean with MJF? And yeah, that means. But does that mean he's gonna? That don't mean he's gonna beat MJF. Unless Samoa Joe does some shit like the only way I would think Samoa Joe could beat MJF and where people would be okay with it is if he does it the way you remember when Kevin Owens fought Sami Zayn for
Which
the
one?
title, the NXT title,
Yeah,
the first time,
yes,
and he beat his ass so bad that it wasn't even a pin involved.
yeah.
That's the only way I can see them being okay with MJF taking a pin, with losing the title.
Right. And the only reason I said MJF is gonna drop the belt to Joe is because if he why didn't he drop the title before the match in Orthodox Stadium when they first had their title match? It just don't make sense unless they don't want him holding two titles at the same time.
Oh, Joe, they got a gang of motherfuckers holding two titles at the same time in that shit. Different promotions, but same goddamn motherfuckers holding 88 titles and shit. Walking out like the Ultimo Dragon.
My point exactly.
Yeah, that ain't that new. MJF is walking around doing that shit. What are you talking about?
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense that Joe would just, oh yeah, I don't want this shit anymore.
But my suspicions are he's gonna have a match with MJF. He's gonna lose, and then he's going to win back the TV championship. That's what I feel is gonna happen.
Who, Joe?
Yeah,
Why the fuck would he drop it? He would just keep it then. But then again, he would have to Ivan Drago MJF like Rocky Four, like damn near kill him in the ring, and he walks out on a stretcher. See, I'm giving y'all hints, AEW, to protect MJF.
I have no idea.
That's the point. It's my point exactly. AEW had no goddamn clue what's going on.
I
They give you a bag of Skittles and then you find out there's M&Ms in the bitch. Like, what the fuck?
Yes,
Uh,
Mrs. Indy. Oh, all right. I think that will conclude our news portion for tonight. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.